Greetings, YouTube. Happy Thursday. In the last 12 hours, my inbox has exploded with these screenshots of the first half hour of the Cavalier Imperius Rex bundle. Obviously, for those of you who are Cavalier and who have completed one initial clear of the final boss of the uncollected difficulty of the month of June. Now, I want to say off the top, every time I do one of these videos breaking these down, people just don't listen. So you'll see people see the title and they'll say like solid deal, and they'll be like, what? That's BS, blah, blah, blah. And I'll try to put some stipulations in the actual video for people who watch it, like, hey, this is a solid deal if you're not Cavalier, or if you have X amount of units already saved up you don't have to spend cash on. So I'm going to attempt to do that again, just knowing that people, based solely off the title or maybe the fact that they saw my name on the video so they automatically just hate me, are going to try to challenge something that they don't actually listen to. But for those of you that do, welcome to the video. We are going to analyze all of the guaranteed value of this offer first, with the context and expectation that unlike last month, where I believe this is the first time that we saw this, we have Act 6, Chapter 2, for those of you that are Cavalier, ready to go in the next week. And so because of that, if you're not one of those classic douchebags that comments on every video, oh my gosh, you suck at fighting. If you were good, you'd never get hit. You'd never have to use a potion or revive or a boost like me because I'm amazing. I basically invented the game. If you actually acknowledge that you're 99.9% of people who aren't pathological liars, and you need the occasional health potion and revive and boost and team revive when you start new quests, you're going to want to think about this bundle because it gives you quite a bit of guaranteed value that you're probably going to need in your Act 6 Chapter 2 run, especially because with the new limits of certain paths between 5 stars, 6 stars in the classes, you can't just automatically run that synergy team that maybe you have between your 5 and 6 stars, because maybe you're just one of those people who has everybody they need and actually wasn't affected at all by the 4-star restrictions of Act 6. Because I know some people have told me, Prof, I don't use any 4 stars for synergies because I've got all the best 5 and 6 stars available. And I'm like, wow, that's amazing. That is not common for the average summoner. So what we're going to do is we're simply going to start, and we're going to ignore, for the sake of the first part of this offer, any value that the legendary crystals possess, knowing that they are true gambles. They're 20% gambles. They will most likely give you a 4-star, but there's a 20% chance for a 5-star, and you get 2 of them. But you can't really guarantee any pull from that because 8 out of 10 times you're going to get a 4-star, and even if you get a 5-star, it's not something that you can count on when you purchase this. So what can you count on? Well, the first thing, when you look at the bottom, is 10 energy refills, which we know are 300 units worth of value. You can also count on 10 level 5 team health potions, which is fantastic, right? That is additionally at least, 300 units worth of value. But besides that, when we scroll to the second screenshot, which, by the way, Vinny, thanks for sending this along, you go to 10 level 3 revives, which conservatively are worth 500 units. You go to 10 level 2 team revives, which we know are worth 1,000 units. And then on top of that, you've got 5 greater champion boost, which you cannot buy individually. The only way you can get your hands on them is if you buy one of those bundles where you get a bunch of other items for like $50 worth of units. And so if you just wanted to buy the individual ones, you can't even buy the 20% ones, right? You can only individually target the 10% ones. And so I still value those at a minimum of 200 units apiece. Really, I could argue they're worth 300 units in so many scenarios, but we'll go 200 just to be objective. And that's an additional 1,000 units. So if you add all of those things up, ignoring obviously the 2 legendary crystals, and then let's just real quick before we tally this up say, I think that the 1-to-1 ratio of 6-star shards is still conservatively 1,000 units. I think 1,000 units for 1,000 6-star shards would be a good deal. So that's what I'm going to put those at. And then I'm going to put 500 5-star shards for Cavalier people valued at 800 units. I think that on average 800 to 1,000 units, that's at least you need the 5-to-1 ratio in order for those to be valued. Because remember, on average, hopefully, even though I've seen it not be the case many times, you're supposed to get a 5-star with every 10 Cavalier crystals that you open, and each Cavalier crystal is 200 units, so that would be 2,000 units for a 5-star. So if it's 2,000 units for a 5-star, then it should be about 1,000 units for half of a 5-star, right? 5,000 5-star shards. So all in all, this comes to just over 5,000 units worth of value for 3,000 units, or about the price of an Odin. $100 worth of units, we'll call it. And that is not taking into account at all the 2 legendary crystals, which have some value, right? Which have some value. I'll put the value of them, let's just say conservatively, they're 500 units apiece. If you get a 5-star, they're worth, we've mentioned, at least 2,000 units apiece. If you pull 2 5-stars out of that, that's an additional 4,000 units. That would push this deal to 9,000 units. But we're just going to say you're going to get 2 4-stars, so we'll value that at an additional 1,000 units. That's 6,000 units worth of value for 3,000. It's basically 50% off if you purchase this in the first 30 minutes. And I will say the people who would benefit from this the most are the people who have the units already and who don't have to spend cash on them because they're out of units. I think this conservatively is at least a B value for the Cavalier player looking to jump straight into Act 6, Chapter 2. And if you have the units and you don't have to spend cash on this, dare I say, it's a basement value of a B+ and a ceiling of a low A if you can pull some luck out of those legendary crystals and get at least a 5-star out of one of the 2. So that is my analysis of this deal. Thank you to everybody who actually listened to this and heard why I said this. I look forward to reading the comments of people who didn't, and just wanted to, spread some friendly disagreement, shall we say. Either way, have a great Thursday, YouTube. Thanks for watching.